Oh yeah, listen to that magical background music of the piccolos. We're at George Washington's kitchen right now. And this is actually his garden. Here's some stuff that you absolutely can't make up, right? Because they don't make jars like this anymore. Now, nobody knows what these are actually for, but they were used to hold things like liquids and stuff like that. And so, let me give you a close-up of these jars. Absolutely phenomenal. Like, they don't make stuff like this anymore. These were made out of blown glass, so it's very super cool. So here's the garden right here, right? So what these guys have done is they've taken seeds from the 1700s and they've reharvested those seeds. So the thing is really cool is seeds are very viable for like hundreds and hundreds of years. So you just need to be able to plant those things and bring them back. And so that's absolutely phenomenal. So one of the cool things that they do here in George Washington's garden is you can grow some squash that haven't been around for literally 200 years. And you can grow apples that haven't been around for 200 years. So they take these seeds, they reharvest them, they regrow them, and they're recreating foods that just aren't around commercially anymore. So it's absolutely one of the most fascinating things. Let's go to his kitchen and see how they used to cook. More food. Quick, can we tell this? So what's the history?
Well, so this garden was based off another garden of someone he knew in Baltimore, a woman's garden. So he kind of
So he copied her garden.
Yeah.
And then so he was also good friends with Jefferson. And so he tried to emulate what he was doing in his garden.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the entire point of the building right back here, right? Can you see what I'm pointing to? This building, wait. This building right here. So inside what he did was he linked up with Jefferson because they were homeboys together. And Jefferson had lemon trees inside of his house, growing them in Virginia. And so Washington was like, that's so super cool. I too want to grow some lemon trees inside my house so I can have lemons. And when life gives you lemons, you make limoncello. That's what Jefferson would say, not just lemonade. Make some hard stuff, it's better for you. All right, so check this out. Linda said that she's just getting started here in the garden. And so she hadn't been here for that long, so there's tons and tons of history to learn, right? But word on the street is they're reharvesting seeds and stuff they had back from the 1700s, which is very cool. Can you tell us a little bit about that, Linda?
Well, also, everything in this garden is what they had at that time. It's not like...
So you're able to grow squash, corn, these heirloom tomatoes and stuff like that. And so you're growing some stuff that people haven't had for like 200 years because we've commercialized a lot of stuff. Now, what makes it different? The flavor. The flavor is where it's at. So when you have like an heirloom tomato, you're not getting tomatoes like you get in the grocery store. In the grocery store, they taste flat, flaccid, mostly taste like water, but not here. So when you get, and especially around here, strawberries grow like mad. So when you get a strawberry from around here, the thing tastes like a strawberry it's supposed to taste.
Yeah.
Thanks, Linda. Dude, we're gonna put this thing out on YouTube, man. You guys are awesome. Check this out. We're at George Washington's crib right now, his house from the 1700s, and here is his kitchen. What a massive kitchen, right? There's the door. Creak, creak. We're going inside. We're going to check it out. All right, here we are. We're in George Washington's kitchen. This is where they used to cook the food, all right here, right? So, in an open fire. Okay, these right here are what we use for hanging meats, right? Is that it?
Yeah, and for cooking meats, yeah.
Oh, for cooking meats. So they would take the meats and you put them into the fire. This is a great concept. I need to work on that concept. Yeah, that's awesome.
Cold, because they didn't have refrigeration like we have today. Everything was pretty much farm fresh, but items that needed to be kept cooler would be in the larder here for temporary food storage.
Hey guys, you are passing through the kitchen right now. This is where the enslaved cooks would prepare all the food for the house. This room right here is the scullery, sort of the pantry of the time period. So this is the kitchen. It's where the enslaved cooks prepared all the meals for the house. Breakfast was at 7 and dinner was at 3. Those were the 2 hot meals for the day.
Everything else, you get cold meals though?
You could possibly. They did have tea, which would be, obviously your tea was hot, but the food that goes with it would be cold. And then at night, if you were hungry, you could request a supper. That's why we have a dinner and a supper. Supper would be a cold meal.
Sweet.
Slave cooks worked in this space to prepare all the meals for the house. The first room you're going to pass is the scullery. That is.
Oh, don't do that.
All right, this is a little bit difficult to see because the sun is right on top of us. Obviously, that gives us some like sun bleaching effect, right? Which is not totally awesome for filming. But this is George Washington's Smokehouse. So this is where everything went down. And then here's a plaque that talks a little bit about the Smokehouse and what they did. So you can see in here like all this stuff for like curing meats and stuff. So cool. Holding.
Sure. Wahoo! Oh, I'm learning a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh.
Let's go take a look at the shape. We're gonna be right over here.
Yes!
All right, can I see that real quick, Sandy? Perfect, thank you. This is George Washington's wash house. So they had a lot of laundry to do, and so they needed to boil water and stuff like that. So they had this fireplace, and they used the fireplace for heating up water. They used that for making soups, stocks, things like that. So in the end, you have water and you have fire, and you come to this place, you able to like make more stuff for food, for cooking. You had literally hundreds of people that were on the estate here that you needed to cook for because you had an enormous amount of slaves. So that's the history of it. It's really quite cool. So we just came back from George Washington's kitchen. One of the historians told us that Martha Stewart had a recipe for rancid meat. We got to get our hands on that. That is so super cool that you could go out there and you could take rancid meat and still use it. So there's got to be some sort of really cool history about that I got to explore.